What is poppin', y'all? I am so hyped to talk about one of my personal favorite Pokemon and the awesome buffs and reworks I've given to my GOAT. So as you can tell, he is now a 3-stage pseudo-legend and he's part poison type. The quick brief explanation for why he's part poison is in the bottom right corner. I'm so bad with left and right, bro. Yes, bottom right corner. So give that a read, pause the video if you want. I'm also going to obviously explain it more in detail in a second. But before I can get into explaining all this stuff you see on your screen, because there's a lot of information, I highly recommend if you're new here to pause the video and read the description. It's got like a background bullet point list of information for you to digest and understand about the game. It's really, really important, so definitely give that a read. If you haven't already. And if you're returning, shout out to you. I appreciate you coming back. Make sure y'all drop a comment, everybody returning or new viewers. It helps the algorithm. Make sure y'all drop a like, share my videos if you like this kind of thing. And yeah, Eelektross. So the poison typing, so Eelektross is a lamprey and an electric eel, right? So lamprey, specifically the sea lamprey, which is more what Eelektross is based on, have toxic mucus and serum, and also eels have toxic blood a lot of the time. So yeah, toxic blood, toxic mucus, toxic serum. Also the whole general vibe of like this kind of gross, unclean, like nasty sea creature. I think it's really fucking cool. It also allows them to use buffed black sludge, which heals them by 1/8, which is a shitload. It also lets them take advantage of their newfound bulk. More specially leaning, because I just think that makes sense for like the whole gooey sea creature type of design. I think their physical defense being like still relatively, I mean, it's good, right? Especially with investment, 180 bulk. The beautiful thing about an electric poison type is how many damn resistances they have. So if I go to toxicity, peep this. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 resists, only 2 weaknesses, and one of them is nullified by levitate. So you can slap on levitate when you need to be immune to ground. The thing is, this ROM hack is balanced around prepping for every single boss, so you're not always going to need that levitate immunity. Hell, even if the boss in front of you has a ground type move, that doesn't mean you're just automatically going to slap on levitate. Oh, my alarm just went off, hold on. Oh, I have fucking therapy in like 20 minutes, hold on. Turn off all my alarms. I'm not even gonna bother re-recording this, bro. I don't care. All right, so sorry, y'all. Let me just set a timer for 2 p.m. Okay, so yeah, Eelektross, super dope. I lost my train of thought. Levitate, yes. So you're not always gonna need levitate, is my point. That's why you have your 2 other abilities. So this guy, a lot of people would say make him water type because he does live in the water in the ocean. He's a sea creature. I like the idea of making him a water adjacent Pokemon by giving him Liquid Veil, which comes from water bubbles. So essentially, he now resists fire as well. So not only do you have the ground immunity and the electric, grass, fighting, poison, flying, bug, steel, and fairy resist, you also have an extra fire resist on top of that. You also can't be burnt, which is kind of cool, but not that important in this in-game context. Definitely useful. Like, it's not like it's useless. You can switch on fire moves more reliably, but it's not like a game changer. However, that main thing from Liquid Veil outside of the fire resist is the double power to your water moves. So your water type moves become absolute nukes with your 119 base offenses. Even on Electric 8593 with Liquid Veil is incredibly powerful. You're doing so much damage with water moves. You've got stuff like Flip Turn, you've got Liquidation, you've got Surf, Hydro Pump, Aqua Tail. At the end game, even in the earlier game, you've got like Water Gun and Aqua Jet for priority, but in the end game, you have absolute nukes of Hydro Assault and Hydro Cannon, which are essentially water type Draco Meteor variants, both physical and special. So those are incredibly powerful moves with Liquid Veil. And then you also have a really cool ability slot in Volt Rush. So Volt Rush is, because some of you guys are coming from Sweltering Sun, right? You might be thinking it's not that different. It has the exact same stats and all this stuff. But the fact that, so there's 2 major things that are different here, outside of the obvious, game itself being different, boss fights being different, is that there's move relearner, which from my experience when I played with Eelektross in one of my Sweltering Sun runs, he was very limited by the lack of relearner. A lot of Pokemon are, but I feel like especially in this case where like you have so many good moves, like I remember I was kind of stuck keeping Acid Spray and like some healing moves and other shit like that because Acid Spray is so strong in Sweltering. It is nerfed here back to its vanilla stat dropping, but it's still a great move. Acid Reflux and Acid Spray are both great, combined with healing moves like Parabolic Charge and Siphon and Mega Drain and Giga Drain and all that other shit. But Yeah, point being, Eelektross can actually take advantage of its diverse move pool now because of Move Relaner. You can slap on coverage, you can run a bulky, strength sap, black sludge, whatever, pivot set for one boss fight because you heal so much with black sludge, and in the next boss fight you can run like an AV offensive set, next one you can run a quick claw, next one you can run a scarf, next one you can run Volt Rush. Speaking of Scarf, I did specifically give them 63 base speed so they can actually abuse Choice Scarf. They can outspeed base 90 Pokemon with that. I think like 92 or 95 even. I'm too lazy to check, but it's somewhere in that range on the AI. Even with a neutral speed nature Eelektross, you're outspeeding base 90 plus speed nature on the AI, so that's really good. And of course you have Volt Rush if you need to be faster than that. So you can either manually set up electric terrain, or you can, you know, set it up with a teammate. You can do electric terrain eject button into your Eelektross, or you can just run an electric surge on if you happen to have one. And obviously with 119 offenses and great bulk, and he outspeeds everything in the game with the Volt Rush boost, you don't even need that much speed investment either. This thing has crazy coverage. This thing goes absolutely crazy in electric terrain because you just have so much coverage. You can do everything super effectively. You could run like Expert Belt or Life Orb or whatever, you know, choice items, whatever. You've got Rising Voltage, all this crazy shit. And it's just a super fun mon to use in terrain. And then you have the more defensive, utility-oriented Levitate, and then you have Liquid Veil, which is a mix between offense and defense. But offensively, again, Liquid Veil is incredibly powerful. I can't understate like how strong 119 special attack and attack is with Liquid Veil. That water bubble boost is really good. And even on Dynamo and Electric, it's very strong. Dynamo itself being really quick and especially bulky, and then Electric being, you know, more well-rounded. So this is one of the few two-stage or second stage pseudo where I could not find a way to differentiate the middle form from the final form. Any ability swaps felt very forced. Like there was a time where I was considering Swift Swim over Volt Rush just for Electric and Dynamo, but it just, like, yes, it's cool because then you can keep Electric if you have Rain, but it is cool, but it's just kind of like I feel like you're losing the plot, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, kind of forced. Other cool stuff. So, obviously, Strength Sap is great. Arcane Fangs, all those other healing moves I said earlier. Parabolic Charge, all fits the whole Lamprey vibe they got going on. And also fits the whole Black Sludge buff. Super cool. Caustic Acid, that's a guaranteed burn move. That's another great utility, bulky type move for these guys. Wrap is good for some residual damage. That is a physical poison trapping move. Stockpile is good. Coil's good. Even stuff like recoil, volt tackle and stuff is good because you have Black Sludge to offset the recoil if you need to, but even just like an offensive, you know, set with Volt Rush and, you know, clicking high base power moves like, you know, like Volt Tackle or other high base power moves. Hopefully y'all don't hear those police sirens in the background, man, but yeah, overall this guy's just a goat. He's so tanky. I love the poison typing on them so much. And I'm not even going to bother trying to list all the coverage moves they have because I'm sure most of you know Eelektross has tons of coverage, and I've just given him even more, you know, like ice moves and other like grass, not grass, like water aquatic type moves. And he already got weird moves like fucking close combat and, you know, flamethrower. He already gets all those in vanilla. So yeah, I give Power Gem because of Charge Stone Cave, and the rest of them I feel like are pretty self-explanatory. You know, Draining Kiss because of the whole Lamprey vibe. He's got priority in Shockwave, Mud Shot, Creeping Strike, Water Gun, Spark, Aqua Jet. This guy has tons of priority options. First Impression, Sucker Punch, you know, all types of good shit there. Dark Pulse because of the whole like evil type of look they got going on. Flash Cannon they already had. So you guys get the idea, man. Energy Ball. Obviously you've got your Electric and Poison Stab, and just combined with like grass coverage, or especially that Liquid Veil water type coverage is insane. So this thing is so fucking cool. I guess I'll try to just leave it off now because, yeah, I think I've touched on pretty much everything. It's very bulky, very versatile. You can run offensive Volt Rush, you can run offensive Liquid Veil, bulky Levitate, bulky whatever, right? In all sorts of different ways you can run this guy depending on the boss fight. And I just think that's awesome. I love that in Scrambled Scarlet you can actually take advantage of how versatile every Pokemon is. Meanwhile in Sweltering Sun you're kind of forced to like pick your moves more carefully, and you're kind of shoehorned or pigeonholed into like a specific role on your team, but now that's not a thing anymore. You can completely swap your entire team like roles around while keeping the Pokemon exactly the same, and Eelektross and tons of other Pokemon are good examples of that. So yeah, I appreciate y'all listening. If you made it to the end, make sure y'all drop a comment. There's a bunch of other small things I could touch on. Like, I really can't understate how just great and bulky this thing is. Even like Soak, right? Like Black Sludge, Soak, max HP, max defense, Parabolic Charge, Shockwave. That fucking 1v1's like everything. Like, you don't even, you know, you can just sit on things. You take so little damage because of your typing and your bulk. You're not threatened by many things, and if you are threatened by them, you can slap on Levitate for certain things. Really, it's just Psychic at that point. You can just sit on things, and it's so fun. I do love this guy so much. Electric is bulkier than Eelektross with the Violite, especially on that special side. It's very, very tanky, and it is pretty strong, and it's still fast with Volt Rush, so if you really like Electric for whatever reason, you could keep it, but I think up until level 45, you get plenty of usage out of it, so even if you do choose to evolve instantly, it's still really cool. So yeah, thanks for listening, y'all. Drop a comment if you made it to the end. Let me know who you are. I didn't even cover other stuff like Leech Life, man. There's so many heal, draining type moves that he gets. I give him pretty much every one. So yeah. Appreciate y'all listening. Peace.